Everyone. Welcome in or welcome back to Midnight Morning Readings. Thank you for viewing me today. We are here to do the general reading for the sign of Aries. This is good for all placements, and we're doing for the month of September. So we're going to start off by getting a couple of message cards from my fortune deck and from my destiny deck, and kind of see what we go into for your overarching energies. So a lot of the signs have been kicking out very interesting. They've all been very, very vastly different for the messages that have been coming out. Even cards that have been popping out for signs that I have not seen in a very long time. So they've been very specific for the signs this month. All right, so let's get one for Aries. This is good for all placements. Take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Thank you. And so they have given you radiating wealth. Your hard work shines brightly. Positive energy fuels ambition, realizing your full potential. Success, confidence, luxury. And then we're going to get a Divine Destiny card. And this is good for any relationship that you have had, both current and anyone that may have passed on. It could be a romantic relationship, a friendship, sibling, family member, parent, co-worker. However the messages in this reading resonate with you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a thank you. So they gave you unveiled, and the love you long for is waiting for you to see it. And that sometimes, we can become blinded by a lot of things that come into our lives. And sometimes, somebody that may have been in our life for a very, very long time, we develop a very, very deep sensual love for them. And it may not necessarily always be this real hard, deep, passionate love. It turns into something that is so much more deeper, to where it's a very deep soul connection. So let's see. So on the bottom of the deck for your overarching energies, you have the yin. And this is all about passion and love and feelings, community, breathe, and exchanging gifts. So I feel that some of you have been caught up in the intenseness that new love, new passions can bring in. And sometimes it can be so intense, so hard, so fast at a certain time that it can become almost suffocating. Not that you want to, all right, they're ready to jump. Not that you want to give up or anything, but you just need to take a breath. You just need to take a step back and just kind of breathe and rest and just sit back and collect your thoughts. So what are the overarching energies for Aries, please, Spirit? What is going on? Thank you. Overarching energies for Aries, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The bottom of the deck, you have not for you, a leg up, and go the distance. And it's interesting when you see this not for you, there's a fortune cookie that's on the chessboard, and it says, nope, not for me. And that's really what you are, is you're trying to decide what your next move is going to be, how you are going to take things on. And your decision, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to do this, or you're going to break up, or you're going to get together, or you're going to take this job, or you're not going to take this job. It just means that your gut is telling you there's a different path that is coming in for you. And it's going to open up a lot of opportunities for you, because the exchanging gifts came out again and blessed, along with to be fair. And this is really coming back and saying you have a lot of give and take in your life. And sometimes, going and not going, and deciding what you want to do and what you don't want to do, it's all a chess game. It's all about the next move. It's all about the next 2 3 moves that are going on for you. But you need to make sure that you're being open and honest with people. You got the yin again. So the yin and exchanging gifts came out again. You got no place like home, and the final card was soulmates. And a lot of time, with the soulmates, definitely comes in, feeling that deeper love for an individual. And we have a lot of soulmates. You don't just come into this world, into each lifetime, and you say, I only have one soulmate. You can have a soulmate that has a very strong spiritual connection, can be a friendship, can be a sibling. Our souls all reconnect with each other over time, from one life to the next. So, and souls know when they have found their soulmates, and it hits you very, very differently, and sometimes not like you ever expect. So you're starting to get all of these, um, really, I don't want to say feelings and emotions that are coming in, but you're starting to bring it all together in a sense that you're saying, you're finally feeling like this is where I'm meant to be. Like, it's all coming in, it's all coming together. Everything you've been working for over these years, you have figured out what is for you, what isn't for you, what do you want, what don't you want. And you're actually seeing everything that you have in your life has come together, and you're feeling this wholesome state of being. Like, you're sitting there saying, I can't ask for anything more. I have good health. I have friends. I have family. I have a good community. I have a wonderful job. I have all of this that's coming in, and all of a sudden it's like a light switch, and it's hitting you, and you're just like, oh my gosh, everything I've wanted is here. It's in front of me. And that's where it's talking about being unveiled. The veil is finally falling away, and you're actually seeing everything. That everything you've ever wanted is here, and you're becoming so grateful and so appreciative of everything. It is just something that, any one of us can be just truly blessed to have. So as you're seeing this, and this is your overarching energies that are coming into play. So we're going to see if there's any challenges or blocks that are coming in for you, and releasing your creative energies. Follow your vision, and your love dragon reaches out to you. And these are actually not blockages that are coming in. It's more positive energy that is flowing through you, to a point that you're just like, what do I do now? Like, how do I do this? It's going so well for me. Everything is falling into place. I almost, like, I don't know what to do, because I always feel like I'm working so hard to achieve stuff. Now that you have it, it's like, now what? Now what do I do with that? So let's see what else is going on. Any challenges or... Thank you. Anything else? The bottom of the deck, live with a playful heart. The time is right. And here's release your creative energies. This was the card on the bottom of the deck. And this is coming in saying everything that you have worked for, now you have time to play, in a sense. And that's where it's saying you have this playful heart. You don't, everything is coming into fruition for you. Don't forget to actually have fun with it. Don't forget to enjoy it, because you can get so caught up in responsibility, Aries, that you forget to enjoy what you have worked so hard for. Because the time is right, meaning things are coming in. It's all coming into fruition for you. Be careful, not, make sure that you're taking out time to enjoy it instead of go, 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 go all of the time. Okay, because you got spiritual blossoming, a difficult path is being revealed, and lost in the ruins of the past. And I feel that you might be constantly going because you've seen things fall apart in the past. You've hit rock bottom in the past, and you know that this time is different. You don't know how or why it's different, but it's different. It feels different, and the success is coming in, and the abundance is coming in, and the stability is here that is there. You want to make sure that you aren't personally making same mistakes, falling into the same old patterns that you have in the past that may have caused things to crumble before. And so it's very important for you to continue to recognize those pitfalls that you have continuously made in the past, so that you don't do that and that you are moving forward differently this time. Okay, so let's see what has brought you into your current messages. We're going to take a little peek into your past messages. Education and knowledge, fresh start, big changes, moving up. This is you in the past. What's happened is you tend to get caught up in the drama. You tend to get caught up in your own success so much that you forget the steps you took to get there, and you forget how hard you had to work in order to get there, and you let things start to slide. You let things start to go by the wayside, and almost you get too big for your britches, so to speak. So it's important for you to continue to remember what has caused things to fall apart in the past, because this is different this time. How or why is for you to recognize individually, but you have recognized it is different this time. But it's important to make sure that you continue to recognize the pitfalls and the steps you have taken to make sure that you don't fall into the same patterns as before. Okay, so most recent past, strongest recent past messages for Aries, please. Thank you. Anything else for Aries? Thank you. Hold on a second. It actually flew behind my chair. Okay. All right. Bottom of the deck, you have fresh start, sweet surprise, important discovery. It's a fresh start every time for you. Every time that you start, that you fall, that you hit the bottom, every time it's a fresh start. You don't ponder, you don't weigh on the past, you don't look at the past, and you don't sit there and you just say it's going to be different this time, and I'm going to try this time, and I'm going to do things differently this time. But this time coming around, you've recognized there was something different about this time going around than what has been different from all the other times in the past with this fresh start that you've had, because there's been a gradual shift in your thought process from the past times. However many past times it is, Aries, okay? However many times it has been in the past, there's been a gradual shift in your thought process over the past 3 months, 6 months, a year. You have been working to shift things. Exciting situation and much needed escape. And what you have been working towards is making sure that you aren't getting burned out, that you aren't getting frustrated, that you aren't, because you can tend to get lost in the passion of things. And that's where this yin wants to keep coming in, right? So it's the passion, the love, the excitement, that everything that comes in, with that. And, you're constantly getting lost in the excitement, but the excitement can fizzle out fast for you because you're ready to move on to the next thing. You're ready to move on to the next thing. And there's been this gradual shift because the faster you go, the hotter you burn. And that has been kind of the pattern that you have been seeing in your past. And, there has been a new situation. This has been different. This has been exciting. You have gotten the passion, but this time around, you've been recognizing when you've been getting burned out, and you've been taking time out for yourself when you see it happening to make sure that you're not getting burned out to where you can't continue on, to where you're hitting that rock bottom. You're taking that time to pause and relaxing as you're moving forward. You're taking time for self-care is what you have been doing in the past, which is a little unusual for you. You're getting that motivation, you're getting that excitement like you always do, but you've recognized in the past that you have just continued to push through and burn through it, and then you end up getting so exhausted that you crash and burn and you just walk away from everything. And this time you've had this mental shift that things have been different, that things are going to be different, and you're trying to very intentionally trying to make sure that you're not doing the same things over and over, because here coming into your current messages on the bottom of the deck is change. And people, I can't make this stuff up. I shuffle, I cleanse, I put them down. I don't know what's on the bottoms of these decks. And you have change, and that's exactly where you are. You're changing. You're manifesting into a higher level of self, and you're recognizing your faults, your weaknesses, things that you have done in the past that have been self-destructive behaviors, and you've been watching them and being very, very diligent, because you got success on the bottom and happiness. Okay, you're seeing that these changes are starting to pan out, that things are starting to come to you. You're not creating your own roadblocks anymore that is causing these falls to happen and these crash and burns to happen, and you're taking things slower this time, more peaceful this time, and you're taking the rest out when you need it in order to do that. So, okay, thank you. Current messages for Aries, please. Anything else for Aries? Anything else? Anything else? Thank you. That's it. Bottom of the deck, it's got miracles. You've got a double rainbow. You've got miracles. This blessings card only came out in one other reading for me this time. It's been very specific. You've been embracing the change. You've been taking the time to manifest this change, and you're starting to see it. You're starting to see the miracles and the blessings. And you had blessed come out in your overarching energies. You've got blessings coming out in your current energies. You've got miracles, embracing things. You are really taking the time to manifest this change differently and really go forward, because it gave you openness and release. And release is that relaxation. It's taking that time out. When you're getting tired, when you're getting frustrated, you're taking the time to go relax, for time for yourself. Take a mini vacation, take a walk, take that self-care. You're doing what you need to do to make sure that you are not keeping things pent up, and you're talking things out, and you're releasing the energies. Instead of taking the burden on all to yourself, you're actually taking the time to let it release so that it is not consuming you. Because the last two cards they gave you, transformation and potential. You can't get more stronger messages from spirit than's coming. And I will tell you, you are the last reading that I am doing for this month of the signs. You're the 12th reading that I'm doing, and you are the only one that the transformation card came out in. You are being very intentional about changing your habits, very, very intentional about making sure that you don't make the same mistakes that you did before, and you're transforming yourself. Very, very small. Remember, this was a gradual shift. This is things that take time to happen. It's not something that happened overnight. It's not going to get changed overnight. And this is where you are embracing the change. You're actually looking and you're saying, I'm okay with this because it's so important to me not to take those steps backwards, not to fall in the same path. I'm keeping this in the forefront of my mind because I want to make sure that these changes I'm making are making for the better, because I want this to be sustainable, right? So for a lot of you, this is talking about yourself. This is talking about your self-care, your self-preservation, but not in a selfish way. You're doing it as a means of self-care for your family, for your friends, for those that are closest to you, to provide that stability and support that you always want to provide for them. But you're starting with yourself instead of starting with trying to fix them. In a sense, you are starting with yourself and transforming the 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 old habits, the bad habits. You're working to do that shadow work, that hard shadow work, and have those hard realizations with yourself, and talking them out with people that you trust, and being very open about those things, because that is giving you that release, that freedom to be able to let those things go that aren't serving you. You're letting those attachments go. And that in turn is opening yourself up for more love and stability and happiness that is coming in. So for your incoming messages, you've got forgiveness on the bottom of the deck. And that is the biggest gift that you can give, is in a form of self-love, is to forgive yourself for things that you have done in the past, whether to yourself or to others, or that others have done to you. And this is the next stage that you are moving in this transformation process, Aries, is you are getting it out to where you are letting it go with love, and you're actually accepting and offering forgiveness along with forgiving yourself. And that is a huge thing that you've never done, because you're trusting in this. Here's the transformation card in your incoming messages. It's come out twice. This is a major transformation for you, Aries, and it's hard for you to change your ways. It is extremely hard. You don't have the symbol of the ram for nothing. Okay, you are one of the most stubborn signs of the 12 signs that there are. You will dig your heels in, even if you know you're wrong. You will dig your heels in sometimes just to prove a point that's there. You can be as stubborn that can be there. But this time around, you're not being stubborn. You're not being stubborn. You're being gracious. You're being forgiving. You're being open to release the bad habits, the negative. You're going through a process of atonement, in a sense. Okay, so let's see. Incoming, thank you. Incoming messages for Aries, please. Incoming. Thank you. On the bottom of the deck is fear, worthiness, clearing your energy, and success. Aries, I'm going to tell you, you also had failure that came out. You are so afraid that you are going to fail this time. You are so afraid that you are not worthy, after you make this change, that you're not going to be worthy of having all of this stuff. That's why you are holding on as tightly as you can to what you have, and you are doing whatever you can to hold on to it. for that success because they gave you courage and gratitude and patience. And that's what you got to hold on to. You're a very strong sign. You're a fire sign. Okay. And you definitely need to, you're the start of the zodiac calendar, astrological calendar starts with your sign. You're a natural born leader. You have the courage. You have no problem facing your problems head on. This is different. This is something, yes, you will admit and you will recognize your faults, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to take on the challenge of changing them. But this time is different because you're going to be successful. You have the courage. You are going to be successful, and you are going to be the gratitude that you are going to give and you are going to receive when you continue to go through this process is going to be something that you have never ever had or felt before. And it takes time to do a true transformation of ourselves into something that we truly want because we know what we have. And if it means changing and letting go of the things and doing a full transformation of letting old habits go and actually forgiving people that have wronged us and asking for forgiveness for those that we have wronged has just been so humbling for you. And it's going to continue to be humbling to you. It's gonna make you fall to your knees like you have never ever felt before. But you're not hitting bottom. And that's the difference between this time and the times before. Being humble and giving forgiveness and asking for forgiveness and being grateful is the biggest gift of love you can give to anybody, or self-love you can give to yourself. That's what makes this time different. That's what makes this time different. So we're going to get your final message from Spirit. It's going to tie this whole reading together before we part with our final message from Spirit. So we're going to see if there's any final messages that Spirit wants to say, wants to provide to you before we thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anything else? Thank you. Okay. I will take them as I have them. You've got the Sun. This is such a powerful major arcana that is in here. Okay, it is telling you this is what you are feeling. This is where you are at. You're feeling this bright light, love, joy, just this just radiating happiness that is going on for you, because you've got the Nine of Wands that is coming in with this. And I feel that there have been so many people since you have started on this journey that you have been on. And this has almost been a very spiritual awakening for you, in a sense. That have been naysayers, that have sat there and said, he's said this before, he's done this before, he's going to fall in the same path. But you know in your heart, this is different. There's something about this situation. It's different this time. And so we're sitting there, and this is where you're working through this, and you're overcoming, that adversity, those naysayers that are doing this. But at the same time, you're sitting there saying, but they have the right to say it, because I have said this before. I've tried this before, and it's ended the same way every time. So you've got the Knight of Pentacles, and you have the Strength card that are coming in sideways. Okay? And so the Knight of Pentacles, comes in and is is leading the force, that's coming in, and is saying, you know what, I'm coming in, and I'm going to succeed. You're not going to change my mind. I'm going to succeed. I am going to do this. Okay. You didn't realize what it is you didn't realize how much energy and strength it was going to take in order to stay on this path. That's where you're at. Is you're saying, like, I know what it is. You didn't realize how hard this was going to be. It's the hardest thing that you have ever done in your life to this point. And you have been through, to some people would say, you have been to hell and back more than once. And they're like, why do you keep going back? Why do you keep self-sabotaging yourself? But this time is different. You're not self-sabotaging. And you're sitting there and you're saying, I didn't think it was going to be this hard, because so many things come easy to you. And this has been so hard, so difficult for you to work through. But you keep going through. You've got the perseverance to continue, because you've got the Hierophant that's coming in along with the Nine of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. Okay? And Pentacles, they all talk about structure. They talk about stability. They talk about forming that base. And you are so intent about not making the same mistakes over and over. You're going back to your roots. And I'm not talking your roots. I'm talking about what you learned when you were growing up. The hard lessons in life. You are looking at your parents, your grandparents, your brothers, your sisters, the struggles that they went through, and how they overcame adversity, how they overcame their highs and lows in their life, and the lessons that they taught you not to make the same mistakes. And you are going deep this time, Aries. You are going so deep into everything, because you are so intent in transforming these habits and yourself to move forward. You are digging deep into closets, and you are pulling out skeletons that you never thought you'd ever pull out again. But you're doing it because you know you still have unsettled business. And until you get those taken care of, and you forgive those people, or you ask for forgiveness, that you're not going to get to this level that you were working so hard for. And that is what you are going forward. And that's why Spirit is saying, be patient. It's gonna take time. It's gonna be hard to open some of those doors, unlock some of those cabinets, but it's worth it, because you know this time is different. You know this time is different. You can't explain it, but you just know it. And in order for you to continue to work towards it and keep it, you know you've got to go back into your past, and you have got to face some of those demons that you have locked away. And that's the only way that you're going to get through this. And this is the way that you know you're going to do it, because you're the ram. You're stubborn, and when you set your mind to doing something, come hell or high water, you're going to do it. And you have set your mind to it this time, and you don't care how long it takes. You are not going back into the same habits and the same paths that you did before. Wow. Very, very strong message. Very, very strong energy that is coming through for you, Aries. Very, very strong. We're going to get a final message from Spirit before we leave today. Final message to leave with Aries, please. Final message for Aries. Thank you. Final message. I forgive and release the past to heal my life. Aries, I cannot make this stuff up. This is the confirmation message you have been asking for, and the guidance you've been seeking. I forgive and release the past to heal my life. That is the mantra that you have been chanting, that you are going to continue to chant as you are making this life-altering journey. That is the reading and the messages that I have for you this month, Aries. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped. Please feel free to leave comments for any part of this reading that resonates with you. I'd be grateful if you hit that like, share, and subscribe on your way out. And I will see you back here next time, Aries. Take care.